Imagine this. What if I told you that just 30 minutes from now, your entire life could take a turn? Not tomorrow, not next week, but today, right now, in the next half hour. Yes, 30 minutes is all it takes to shift your mindset, to change the way you see yourself, and to start living a life full of purpose and joy. Friends, today I'm going to show you how you can use just 30 minutes each day to transform your life, starting this very moment. You see, life doesn't always need grand plans or huge leaps. Sometimes it's about the little consistent steps we take. And today, I'm going to guide you through 10 powerful ways to use 30 minutes that can change everything. From your happiness to your success to your relationships. Friends, let me start with something simple, yet unbelievably powerful: silence. Just imagine 30 minutes of pure, uninterrupted silence. No phone, no distractions, no noise from the world, just you and your thoughts. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. 30 minutes. I don't even get 5 minutes to myself. But here's the truth. Our minds are running non-stop, like a car engine revving all the time. And when the engine runs too long without rest, it overheats. Our minds, like that engine, also need a pause, a moment to cool down and reconnect. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is presence. Silence is a chance to look inside and see what's really going on. In those 30 minutes, you start observing yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, your doubts. You notice the little things that usually escape you when life is moving too fast. And here's the magic: when you sit in silence, you give your mind a chance to declutter. All those worries about the future, all those regrets about the past, they begin to dissolve like fog under the morning sun. No, don't worry if it feels uncomfortable at first. Our minds are used to being busy. Thoughts will come and go. That's normal. But here's the key: don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just watch them like clouds floating across the sky. You are the sky. You are not the cloud. And when you understand this, when you really feel this, you start realizing something extraordinary. Most of the stress, most of the anxiety we feel, it's not because of the world outside, it's because of the noise inside. And here's the most important part: reflection. Silence without reflection is like planting a seed without watering it. Take these 30 minutes and ask yourself questions. Am I living the life I want? Am I being the person I aspire to be? What did I learn today? What am I grateful for? How can I be better tomorrow? In these moments, your mind begins to realign. Your heart begins to recalibrate. And slowly, you discover clarity, you discover peace, and you discover direction. Friends, think of it like this: a busy street is noisy, chaotic, and confusing. But if you step back into a quiet room, everything becomes clear. Your thoughts, your decisions, your life itself, it all comes into focus. And here's the beautiful truth: if you dedicate just 30 minutes every day to silence and reflection, over time, you will notice something miraculous. You will become calmer, wiser, more patient, more focused, and more joyful. You will start making decisions from clarity rather than confusion. You will start living intentionally rather than just reacting to life. So today, I challenge you: find your 30 minutes. Turn off your phone, step away from the chaos, and gift yourself the greatest gift you can: your own presence. Sit in silence, reflect, watch your thoughts, and slowly watch yourself transform. Because, friends, transformation doesn't always need huge action. Sometimes it just needs stillness. Friends, let's talk about gratitude. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Think of the last time you felt truly happy. Not just a fleeting moment, but a deep, satisfying happiness. Chances are, It wasn't because of something big, an expensive gift, a grand achievement, or a massive success. Most of the time, it came from noticing something small, something simple that you appreciated, something you were thankful for. Gratitude is that invisible force that turns what we have into enough. And here's the thing, we often overlook it. We get so caught up chasing more, wanting more, achieving more, that we forget to pause and look at the gifts we already have. Taking just 30 minutes a day to practice gratitude can completely change your life. Sit quietly, take a deep breath, and bring to mind the things you often take for granted. The roof over your head, the people who love you, the food on your table, the laughter you shared, even the challenges that taught you lessons. Write them down, speak them aloud, or simply feel them in your heart. When you do this, something beautiful begins to happen. Your perspective starts to shift. You notice that life, despite its struggles, is filled with countless blessings. And when your mind starts to see abundance instead of lack, your heart begins to feel lighter. Stress, anxiety, fear, they lose their grip. Gratitude is not just a feel-good exercise, it's a science-backed habit. Research shows that people who consistently practice gratitude experience higher levels of happiness, lower levels of depression, and stronger relationships. But beyond the science, there's something even more profound. Gratitude transforms your consciousness. When you are grateful, you stop focusing on what is missing and start celebrating what is present. You start seeing opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You start appreciating people around you in ways that deepen relationships. You notice the smile of a stranger, the warmth of a friend, the beauty of a sunset, and suddenly life feels rich and full. And here's a secret: gratitude also prepares your mind for success. A grateful heart attracts more reasons to be grateful. It trains you to focus on solutions instead of problems, on growth instead of failure, on hope instead of fear. By dedicating just 30 minutes each day, you are rewiring your brain, shifting from scarcity to abundance, from discontent to joy, from complaint to celebration. So, I urge you to make this a daily habit. Set aside these 30 minutes and truly immerse yourself in the practice of gratitude. Not just the obvious things, but the subtle blessings, the lessons hidden in failures, the kindness in a harsh word, the growth in a difficult situation. When you do this consistently, you will notice something remarkable. Your world starts changing, not because life has suddenly become easier, but because you see life differently. Your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and your spirit begins to radiate happiness. Friends, remember, this happiness is not something to chase. It is something to cultivate, and gratitude is the seed. Plant it, nurture it, and watch how, in just 30 minutes a day, your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined. Friends, let's talk about learning. Not just going to school or attending classes, but the lifelong, conscious act of learning. The kind of learning that transforms your mind, your perspective, and ultimately your life. You see, we live in a world that's constantly changing. Technology evolves, opportunities arise, challenges appear, and the world around us never stops moving. If we stay stagnant, if we stop learning, we are left behind. But here's the beautiful part: you don't need to spend hours or days. Even just 30 minutes a day dedicated to learning can be life-changing. Think about it. 30 minutes. That's all it takes to read a few pages of a book that inspires you, to listen to a podcast that opens your mind, to study a new skill, or even to reflect on something new you experienced today. 30 minutes of focused learning every day compounds over time in ways you cannot imagine. It's like planting a small seed today that grows into a mighty tree years later. The knowledge you gain, the insights you gather, the wisdom you cultivate, they become part of you, guiding your decisions, shaping your actions, and helping you navigate life with clarity. And learning isn't just about knowledge, it's about growth. Every book you read, every story you hear, every lesson you absorb has the potential to change how you see yourself and the world. It teaches patience, empathy, creativity, and resilience. It allows you to see possibilities where you once saw problems. It equips you with the tools to face life's challenges with confidence instead of fear. Imagine spending 30 minutes each day learning something new. Not to impress others, not to prove anything, but simply to become a better version of yourself. Over weeks and months, those 30 minutes turn into hours, the hours into days, and before you know it, your life begins to transform quietly, but profoundly. Friends, learning also keeps your mind sharp. Just as your body needs exercise to stay healthy, your mind needs exercise to stay active and alive. When you learn, you stretch your mental muscles. You challenge assumptions, expand your imagination, and open doors to opportunities that you might have never considered. You become curious about life instead of complacent. You become creative instead of repetitive. And most importantly, you begin to see that learning is not a task, it is a joy, a journey, and a privilege. I want you to imagine an older version of yourself, a few years down the line. Think about what that version of you would thank you for today. That older you would thank you for the 30 minutes you invested daily in yourself. For every small lesson, for every new insight, for every bit of knowledge that you allowed to shape your mind. It may seem small now, almost invisible, but trust me, the impact will be enormous. You are building a foundation, a life built on wisdom, perspective, and understanding. So here's my challenge to you. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to learning. Not just reading the news or scrolling social media, but truly learning, absorbing knowledge that uplifts you, challenges you, and inspires you. Let it become your daily habit. Over time, you will notice the difference. You will think differently. You will act differently. And slowly but surely, your life will reflect the person you have become through those precious 30 minutes of learning each day. Remember, friends, it's not the big leaps that always change our lives. Often it is the small, consistent steps, the small choices, like dedicating just 30 minutes a day to learning, that create the greatest transformations. So start today, start now, because every moment you invest in learning is a moment invested in the most valuable project of all, yourself. Friends, let's talk about exercise. Not just as a routine or a chore, but as a sacred investment in the one place you will live your entire life, your body. You see, we often think that exercise is about losing weight, looking good, or impressing others. But the truth is far deeper. Exercise is a celebration of life, a gift we give to ourselves, and one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to change our lives, starting in just 30 minutes a day. Think about this, your body is like a vehicle that carries you through life. If the vehicle is neglected, worn out, or ignored, it will break down. But if you nurture it, maintain it, and care for it, it becomes strong, reliable, and capable of taking you anywhere. 30 minutes of exercise is not about punishment, it's about empowerment. It's a way to tell your body, I honor you, I respect you, I want you to be strong, flexible, and resilient so that I can live fully. And here's the beautiful part, your mind is connected to your body. When you move, your brain releases chemicals that lift your mood, sharpen your focus, and reduce stress. A healthy body truly nurtures a healthy mind. Friends, exercise also teaches discipline. Just like life, it is not about doing one grand effort and expecting results immediately. It's about consistency, small daily actions, and dedication. 30 minutes may seem small, but done every day, it compounds in ways you cannot imagine. Every push up, every stretch, every step you take is a vote for a stronger, healthier, and more vibrant you. And with every day that passes, your energy levels rise, your confidence grows, and your resilience in facing life's challenges strengthens. And let's not forget the mind-body connection. Exercise is not just physical, it's spiritual, emotional, and mental. When you run, lift, stretch, or practice yoga, you connect with yourself. You feel alive. You become aware of your body, your breath, and your presence. In those 30 minutes, your mind stops worrying about the past or the future. It becomes fully present. And presence is the first step toward happiness. Exercise becomes meditation in motion, a practice of honoring life, honoring your potential, and reconnecting with your inner strength. Friends, consider this. How often do we complain about feeling tired, stressed, or overwhelmed? Yet the solution is often right in front of us. A simple, daily commitment to move our bodies. 30 minutes is all it takes. Walk, run, stretch, dance, lift weights, or practice yoga, whatever resonates with you. The key is not intensity or perfection. The key is presence, consistency, and intention. Every day you invest those 30 minutes, you are building a life where energy, vitality, and resilience become your natural state. And the impact doesn't stop with your body. Exercise influences every aspect of your life, your productivity, your relationships, your emotional stability. A strong body makes a strong mind. A strong mind makes wise decisions. A wise mind shapes a meaningful life. Friends, it's a ripple effect. What starts with 30 minutes of exercise grows into clarity, confidence, and capability in every area of your life. So, I challenge you today, make exercise a priority, not an option. Gift yourself these 30 minutes each day. Respect your body, honor your mind, and nurture your spirit. Over time, you will see the transformation, not just in how you look, but in how you think, how you feel, and how you experience life. The energy, the focus, the joy that comes from this simple habit is priceless. Friends, your body is your first temple. Treat it with love, care, and devotion. 30 minutes a day is all it takes to change your life. Friends, let's talk about planning and goal setting. Now, I know when we hear the word planning, some of us immediately think of schedules, deadlines, or pressure. But planning is much more than that. Planning is about giving direction to your life. It is about making your intentions clear so that you don't drift through life like a leaf in the wind. And here's the beautiful truth, just 30 minutes of focused planning every day can completely change the way you live, the choices you make, and the outcomes you experience. Think about it for a moment. How often do we wake up, get busy with life, and at the end of the day, feel exhausted but wonder, did I really accomplish anything? That's because without a plan, our actions are scattered, our energy is misused, and our time slips away unnoticed. But when you dedicate just half an hour each day to plan, to organize, and to set goals, you are giving yourself the gift of clarity. You are telling yourself, I am intentional. I know where I am going. I am the captain of my ship, not a passenger. During these 30 minutes, you can reflect on the day ahead, what needs your attention, what will bring you closer to your dreams, and what can you let go of. You can prioritize tasks, break them into manageable steps, and visualize the outcomes. Visualization is powerful. It's the practice of mentally rehearsing success, of imagining yourself completing your tasks and achieving your goals. When you see it clearly in your mind, your brain begins to guide your actions toward making it real. Goal setting is another crucial part of this daily practice. Not big, overwhelming goals that feel impossible, but small, achievable steps that, when taken consistently, lead to transformation. Goals give your life purpose. They create momentum. They turn vague dreams into actionable reality. And when you review your goals daily, even for just 30 minutes, you are constantly realigning your actions, staying focused, and avoiding distractions that pull you away from what truly matters. Friends, here's something important to understand. Planning is not about rigidity. Life is unpredictable and circumstances change. But planning gives you flexibility within structure. It allows you to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. It reduces stress because you know what matters most, and it increases your confidence because you are in control of your time and choices. A well-planned day is a gift to your future self, and over time, these daily habits of clarity and focus compound into extraordinary results. And the beauty of this habit is that it transforms your mind as much as your schedule. When you plan and set goals, you begin thinking proactively. You start noticing opportunities rather than problems, solutions rather than obstacles. You start acting with intention rather than drifting in confusion. You begin to see that every small, consistent action matters, and that the accumulation of these actions shapes the life you want to live. So I urge you, dedicate these 30 minutes every day to planning, prioritizing, and setting your intentions. Reflect on what truly matters, visualize the outcomes you desire, and take ownership of your time and energy. Over time, you will notice something extraordinary. Your days become purposeful, your actions become powerful, and your life begins to align with your deepest aspirations. Friends, it is not luck or chance that creates success. It is clarity, intention, and consistent action. And 30 minutes a day of focused planning is the first step toward that transformation. Friends, let's talk about helping others. Now, I know many of us get caught up in our own lives, our problems, our ambitions, our struggles. And it's easy to forget that happiness is not just about what we receive, but what we give. Helping others is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to transform your life. And here's the most beautiful part. It doesn't have to take hours or require grand gestures. Just 30 minutes a day can create ripples of joy, kindness, and transformation for both you and those around you. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you felt truly fulfilled, truly alive in your life? Often, it's in the moments when you've given, when you've made a difference, when you've reached out to someone in need. Whether it's listening to a friend who's struggling, mentoring someone who needs guidance, volunteering for a cause, or simply offering a kind word to a stranger, these moments of giving awaken something inside us. They remind us that life is bigger than our own worries and ambitions. They remind us that connection, compassion, and love are at the heart of what it means to be human. When you dedicate 30 minutes a day to helping others, something remarkable happens inside you. Your mind becomes calmer because it stops focusing solely on your own anxieties and desires. Your heart becomes lighter because giving, even in small ways, releases a sense of abundance and gratitude. And your spirit feels alive because you are participating in something larger than yourself. There is a deep, undeniable joy that comes from seeing someone smile because of your actions, from knowing that your presence made a difference in someone's day. Friends, helping others also teaches humility. It reminds us that no matter how busy or important we think we are, everyone has challenges, everyone needs support, and everyone can benefit from kindness. When we serve, we let go of ego, pride, and selfishness. We start seeing life through a lens of empathy, understanding, and love. And here's a profound truth: the energy you put out into the world comes back to you. When you give, you receive, not always materially, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. You cultivate joy, peace, and purpose that nothing else can give. And helping others doesn't have to be monumental. It doesn't require fame, money, or influence. A small gesture, a smile, a call, a listening ear, or a few minutes of your time can change someone's entire day. Imagine the collective impact if each of us dedicated just 30 minutes a day to serving, supporting, or uplifting someone. The world would be transformed, and so would we. Friends, think about the leaders, the mentors, the great human beings you admire. At the heart of their greatness is one thing: service. They gave of themselves consistently without expecting anything in return. And that giving created impact, not just in the lives of others, but in their own lives. They became happier, more content, more resilient, and more purposeful. That is the power of helping others. It's not just about changing someone else's life. It's about changing your own quietly, profoundly, and permanently. So today, I challenge you, dedicate 30 minutes every day to help someone. Not for recognition, not for reward, but because it is the right thing to do. Watch how your perspective shifts, how your worries feel smaller, and how your joy expands. Watch how the world around you becomes brighter, warmer, and more loving. Friends, service is not a duty. It is a path to happiness, fulfillment, and transformation. 30 minutes a day devoted to helping others can change your life in ways you never imagined. Friends, let's talk about self-talk and affirmations. Now, this is something most of us don't pay enough attention to, yet it has the power to completely shape our lives. Every single day, we carry a conversation in our minds, a conversation with ourselves. And here's the truth: whatever you tell yourself, consciously or unconsciously, starts to become your reality. Our thoughts are not just thoughts, they are seeds. And what you water grows. If you feed negativity, doubt, and fear, your life becomes tangled with stress, anxiety, and hesitation. But if you feed positivity, encouragement, and belief, your life begins to flourish in ways you never imagined. Just 30 minutes a day dedicated to positive self-talk and affirmations can transform your inner world. Imagine sitting quietly and telling yourself, "I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough, I can overcome this challenge." When you repeat these affirmations with belief, they start to rewire your brain. Slowly, the doubts lose their power, the fears begin to shrink, and a quiet confidence begins to grow from within. It's like training a garden. If you constantly pull out weeds of negativity and plant seeds of positivity, the garden of your mind blooms beautifully. Friends, let me tell you something. The words you speak to yourself are far more powerful than the words others speak to you. People might criticize, doubt, or even reject you, but as long as you are nurturing a positive, encouraging voice inside, you have the strength to rise above any challenge. Self-talk is the foundation of resilience. It allows you to face setbacks without losing hope, to take risks without being paralyzed by fear, and to keep moving forward even when life seems difficult. And affirmations are not just about repeating words mindlessly. They are about belief, intention, and visualization. When you say, "I am capable," imagine yourself acting with that capability. When you say, "I am enough," Feel it deeply in your heart. Let these affirmations become your inner compass, guiding your thoughts, actions, and decisions. Over time, they shift your self perception, your mindset, and ultimately, the way you show up in the world. Friends, we all have that inner critic, the voice that points out what we can't do, what we might fail at, and all the reasons why life is hard. But here's the beautiful truth: you also have the power to become your own biggest supporter. You can train your mind to encourage you instead of discouraging you.